Blue Table fans, it's time. Time for a BTB bat rep. In this corner, the Oryx, of which I am not even slightly worried. And then I'm playing my Tyranids, of whom I am very excited about. That was probably the worst syntax ever. So here it comes. We're rolling up battles. We've decided to play Eternal War. And we rolled up a 5. That is the Emperor's Will. Yikes. Is that the one where there's a one objective in the very middle?
No, that's
Emperor's Will is where you have one objective each.
Yes, that's
correct. Okay. And then now for table edge type. And this really matters because both of us are playing horde armies.
Yes, we are.
That will barely fit even if it's long table edge. So we're shooting for Dawn of War. 1 or a 2. Nope, it's a 3. The worst one ever. Hammer and anvil.
Lengthwise.
But we're gonna still do it. Yeah. All right. So anyway, yeah, this is gonna be a very weird battle. So I'm ready.
I'm ready.
And let's go ahead and do whatever it is. So for this one, it says each player rolls a d6 re-rolling ties. Whoever scores higher can decide which half of the table they wish to deploy in. Objective markers says the players take it in turns to place a single objective marker in their own table half. So you do determine table halves first. So 4 and 2.
Shawn gets to
so
pick.
let's take a look at the board. My problem, if you look here, is I have 120 bodies on the board, just the Gribblies. And Rich, even though he is a classic horde orc army, really has a lot of his points condensed down into bikes here, which I think are going to have a very narrow, a very narrow frontage for hitting power. And you also have to consider ranged ability. The orcs have quite a bit, actually, once you consider the mass, but they're really not relying on that. They're relying on the close combat to win the day. And so, yeah, I actually don't have a lot of close combat. I'm kind of a shooting chaos type army. So we shall see. Do you have knobs on bikes?
No.
They're just regular bikers. Okay, great.
You have 1 unit of mega knobs in a truck.
Right, I'm not worried about those. An orky laugh. Okay, so this is very interesting. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this table edge here, the one that's more open.
You have this side, and I'll take that side.
All right, sounds good. And it's deploy first, go first, right?
Correct. And we
Now
roll
that's
for that.
interesting.
We roll for that too. That's
Do we
not,
really?
Yeah, you don't get both.
It's not
with one
automatic?
dice roll. It's 2 dice rolls.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, it says each player can decide which half they wish to deploy in. Yep, that's it. All right, well then let's set objective markers. Let's just grab these 2 crates
That'll
here.
work. Yeah.
And then we'll put something more visible for the fans on them so they'll know what's going on. Well, this is really simple for me.
Yours?
I'm going to, I'm just going to get mine back here way off in the boonies and call that a day.
And I'll place my second objective because Shawn's objective is my objective. I will place it here in the mech shop.
Yeah, I reject that notion outright. All right, fantastic. So the Tyranids are looking for something over in the mech shop. Hey, Sarah, how's it going?
Hi, good morning.
Yay, so glad you're here. Yes, got it. Let's do a little analysis of the board and determine what's what here. So Rich set up the terrain. He set up really what I'd consider to be an average, reasonable amount of terrain. He did set it up where, like if you look at the feel of it, it's like there's a line here, there's a line down the middle, and then there's a line on this side, and then there's this giant mech shop here. And I actually think this was great. This ended up on the orc side. Because it made for a little bit of de facto narrative to the game, you know, that the Nids are there to like get a sample or something. And okay, so anyway, but we did end up with long deployment, which makes these very long lanes of fire. Like there is no cover on this board. I mean, unless you're like completely hidden behind something.
Right.
Now we usually play these as just difficult. So and as the crow flies too, and that's why you get your difficult terrain test is to account for the fact they have to kind of go over it
or through it.
Right, and so like 6 inches would literally be like 6 inches from here to here. You don't have to account for going up and then down again. And we do allow. This is not impassable. And same thing over here. You know, as long as you can set your guys up here, you can just pile right over this thing. And that's how we do it at BTP. Is we make terrain the least obstructive possible. I think that's about it for terrain. So, and we set our objectives. So let's go ahead and do warlord traits. I'm going to choose strategic traits because the Tyranid traits aren't that amazing.
What page are those on, Shawn?
123. Excuse me, 125.
Thank you.
So here we go. I'm going to roll a 6, and that is Princeps of Deceit. At the start of your opponent's turn, pick 3 units of the enemy army. Each of these units must take a pinning test. I'm definitely going to take that. And that actually, in a way, that harkens a little bit back to the 2nd edition Tyranids, where they had, you'd roll a d6 for every enemy unit to see what had happened to them before the battle.
Jones is acting
strangely. Yep.
A brain burster or a chest burster bursts out and kills a bunch of orcs. Yeah, that's,
all right,
that's
let's
gonna
roll.
happen. So for mine, Chirok has been chewing on Rockfire for a while, so he's really smart. He's got the thinking cap.
Okay.
So he gets a strategic trait as well as his orc trait.
Okay, fantastic.
So here's his orc trait.
A 2.
A 2, which is the one I want. Wait, is that? Oh, that's not the orc table. Bellowing Tyrant, yes. All friendly units within 12, reroll failed morale and pinning test.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Won't reroll that. He also, because he's such
amazing.
a smart orc, he has Princeps of Deceit
as well.
Now, the way
that's going to be
play
useless against me.
Oh, what does that one do?
Yeah, I have to take a pinning test. I'm going to be fearless and in synapse. So what we do as house rules for BTP is if you roll a patently useless roll, you get to roll again. But you get to roll again anyway, right?
Well, that's a question. Some people say you do with the thinking cap. Some people say you don't because he is the warlord, and this is an extra bonus warlord trait. Some people say you don't get to re-roll it, but in this situation, we're going to re-roll it. And I got a 2 again, which is Night Attacker. It is Night Fight. If I choose this, it's Night Fight on the first turn. And my models have night vision.
That's probably a really good idea.
I probably will choose that because I have night vision anyway. So it's Night Fight first turn.
Oh, you do?
No, it gives it to them.
You do?
With this trait.
I thought you meant without that.
No, this trait gives it to them.
Okay, great. All right, folks, so that is the Warlord traits. So let's go ahead and roll for option to deploy first, go first. This is the almighty one.
This is big.
6. I'll deploy first, go first.
Of course.
Well, and there's really, with this tight, there's going to be no surprises. There's going to be no flank. We're each just going to have like this completely loaded up board edge. And by the way, this is only 1850. I mean, heaven help us if we had rolled. Oh, we will.
Okay.
We will. If we had rolled, if we had done 2,500 points. And in fact, with 2,500 points for these armies, you know, and by the way, I get it. We play a lot of orc. Well, and you know what? Because I think somebody mentioned that they were sick of orcs and Tau and Tyranids. And I'm like, but I didn't have the Tau for a long time. You know, it was orcs versus Eldar. That was the game that you saw week after week. And for a while, Eldar is all I had. That's the only studio army. Studio armies are going up, by the way.
Awesome.
We got a ton of them.
Awesome.
All right, let's continue. So first off, let's take a look at the Tyranids. Now I have 2 detachments here, which I've actually done in 2 separate halves. And by the way, none of my guys have upgrades at all. They're all bare bones, except I had 30 extra points, so I dropped regen on the Mala.
Okay.
Why not? Okay, so on this side, I've got an HQ in the Turvagon. I have 3 separate heavy support choices in the form of 3 separate biovores.
Very good.
And 3 elites choices in the form of 3 completely separate Hive Guard.
Very cool.
So, by the way, my army is extremely fragmented points-wise. If you can, let's see, 3, 3, 12. Yeah, I've got like 32 different units.
Wow.
Technically. So Ormagants.
Okay.
Plain
3
as,
units of 10?
Plain as
Or
bones.
6 units of 10?
6 units of 10 each.
Okay.
Nothing really to them. And then I've got 3 triples of spore mines for those are my fast attack.
Awesome.
So this is a complete detachment,
Full, except for
not
second
2
HQ.
HQs.
Wow. And I bet that's about 700 points.
Yes, that's right.
Wow, that's awesome.
Right. Well, and that's a strategy, and one that I've seen you do to great effect.
The only disadvantage is if you ever roll up a kill points mission, you have to really play your butt off to get a win in those situations when you have this many kill points. But it's very rare to roll that, really.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great strategy.
Well worth it.
Yeah.
Well worth it. I've been talking a lot about efficiency of fire. Okay, so over here we've got an HQ, 1 heavy in the form of the Moloch. I have 3 Mollenthropes, which I'm using these.
I haven't played against those yet. I'm excited to see what they do.
So
and they're individuals.
They're each an individual thing. So just a moment to talk about synapse. So synapse is very important for Tyranids. 1, I only have 5.
3, 4, 5.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, but if you look at these guys, if you look at the rules, they're pretty tough cookies.
Okay.
So these guys are like almost as tough as like a larger creature, like a Hive Tyrant or Carnifex. Because they are, I do believe, toughness 5, 3 up armor save. They've got regeneration.
How many wounds?
They have 3 wounds.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, something like that. They're pretty tough cookies. In fact, they're represented usually, just so everybody knows.
4 wounds, Shawn.
Oh, okay, 4 wounds. Fantastic. Yeah, so I provided Rich a courtesy copy of the Mollenthrope.
It's always a generous, kind thing
So this
to do when
is the real figure. So I am gaining a bit of an advantage here because I have a smaller profile and a smaller base. But it's a friendly game, and I think Rich is going for it.
Absolutely.
So, and the other thing is, it won't really matter on this board in terms of like being able to shoot at them. He's going to be able to see over the other guys, typically, I do believe. And the other thing to point out is these are $10 each, and these are $85 each. So I'm actually working on some kind of Mollenthrope conversion.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, and I've got Termagants, 6 units of 10 Termagants each with 3 Devours. That gives them 3 strength 4 shots at 18 inches. And I have one
Actually,
too many
Shawn,
of
it looks
these.
like they have 4 Devours.
Yes, did I say 3?
I said 3.
Yeah, I meant 4. 4 is how much I've paid for.
Okay.
And then for fast attacks choices,
Again.
I have 3 units of Spore Mites. So 3 elites, 3 fast, 6 troops, 1 heavy, 1 HQ. So
Awesome.
it's a lot of units.
Awesome.
It's a lot of units on the board. Deep striking, I'm going to have all 6 of these and the Moloch coming in via deep strike. All right, shall we do orcs?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, Blue Table fans, so the Oryx, since Grock lost his last battle against Mason, he has had to send some of his other HQs out to try and round up a new Big Mac.
Can you stop for a second? It just occurred to me that you've come up with a name for your commander.
Yes.
And I don't have a name. So my commander's name is Chew Orc.
Sure.
Yeah, now that's not the original Tyranids. In original Tyranid is
That's what the orcs call him?
something.
Chew Orc is what the orcs call him. Watch out for that guy.
He actually has an orc war boss head stuck in his head.
He can't get it out. He gets frustrated. He has Hormagaunts all picking at it.
Tick-tock, Rich. Tick-tock. Okay.
Awesome, guys. So Grock, now of course he has a mech that he has with him. I'll be assigning that probably to the tank bustas. But each of my HQs have a mech as well. But I have Grock on his war boss, on his war bike, which is this Carnosaur, with a power claw. He also has an attack squig, a cyborg body, and a combi scorcha, which is the flame breath out of the Carnosaur. I have a pain boy. This conversion I've done, a pain boss on a bike as well. So these are bikes, and they all have guns to go with them. But so he's on a bike as well. He has a mech that will be assigned with the tank bustas. And then 15 biker boys. Here's the knob.
Is this one giant unit?
This is one unit of 15
holy
bikers.
Banana.
So that's the knob with his power claw. and his big gun strapped on his back. So 15 of those boys. That's one unit of fast. So this is only one combined arms detachment. Then I've got another fast in 2 individual def coptas. Then for troops, I have 5 trucks. 2 of them have shooters with knobs with huge choppers, and 3 of them have slugger boys with knobs with power claws. All have boss poles, and all the trucks have rockets. Over here I have a truck with 3 mega knobs, one of whom has a combi scorcher and a boss pole. I have a truck full of tank busters. I think it's 9 tank busters, and then the 2 mechs will probably be assigned in there. And the truck has a rocket on it as well. This knob truck has a boarding plank and a rocket. I have 1 looted wagon in the back. If you don't know where the rules for that are, they're in the White Dwarf. It's really cool. The model is actually a really old Epicast model, but I use it as a looted wagon with a boom gun. With a kill cannon, sorry, old word. That's then there's a
Epicast.
Then there's a unit of 10 Grotts and a unit of 5 Labas, and then 1 small unit of 5 Ludas, just in case there's a plane flying around, but there wasn't in this case. Oh, 1 other heavy is the 1 single kilocan. So that's my army, single kilocan. Jeez. So it's a full combined arms detachment, used every slot I believe, and I think I'm short 1 elite to fill every slot. But I'm excited. Churok's gonna go pick Churok's teeth and see if he can he can give him some indigestion.
Oh, he'll give me indigestion, all right. the digestion pool is gonna have indigestion. So looking at this, just in terms of an analysis, this is a big point sink right here.
It's not as big as you think. The bikers came down a lot.
17 points or something now?
Yeah, they're really inexpensive compared to how they used to be 25.
I'm going to maintain this is easily the largest point.
Yes.
Thing.
Yes.
I mean, especially if you count. Is this a pain boy?
Yes.
Okay.
And they're attached. So
this is it's really interesting because I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay, how am I going to deal with this?
Shawn, that's 51 twin-linked big shooter shots when that unit fires.
Oh yeah,
it's very nasty.
It's an absolute ton load. Well, and the thing is, really, it's like, okay, so why did I make this army list? How does this army list win? And I don't have a lot of heavy hitters on my list. I have the Turvagons, but they don't have a lot of attacking power with 3 attacks, strength, I think 5. Sure, they're monstrous creatures, but there's nothing that's going to go in and just like tear something apart. The Molanthropes are pretty decent in close combat. In fact, the Molanthropes are an excellent counter to your typical orc boy unit. Because the problem is, with Tyranids, you end up with, like, a monstrous creature goes in, and you're like, oh, monstrous creature, be afraid of me. No, here's how that plays out. The monstrous creature kills some boys.
The hidden power claw.
Knob with the power claw, hidden is the terminology people use, meaning I can't strike back at him. I have to kill all the other guys and then finally him, unless I can challenge. So, but what's interesting is both of the the things that would fear the power claw are actually able to deal with the power claw because the Turvagons are characters. And that's why I kept them as HQs, not only to unlock the detachments, but also to be able to, well, I guess even as troops, they still be characters. But the Molanthropes, on a 4-up, the Molanthropes can tangle an enemy character and reduce their attacks by half rounded down.
Wow.
So that brings
so is that one of their special rules?
Knob down to 1 attack.
Wow.
And with regen and toughness 5, it makes it so they can't be insta-killed and they can handle that knob.
Just one point I want to point out, Churok can insta-kill you.
Oh, okay. So that is what we're doing. So it's gonna be a weird game because point for point, like looking at this, I'm not worried about this army except for this giant unit of bikers. That's basically it. That's what this game is about. If I can kill the bikers and not have been annihilated somehow in the process, then, you know, and I'm perfectly suited to do it because I have all these fearless units that I can just kind of, you know, piecemeal to them for 2 or 3 or even 4 turns, and you know. No,
we'll see if we can't maybe get Shawn to maybe fear the orcs a little bit by the end of this game.
And by the way, okay, enough talk. But I do want to think about how many games do you think we've played lifetime?
Oh, Shawn.
Not that many. 20?
Maybe 20.
20 sounds about right. And what do you think the win-loss
We're
rate
probably
was?
pretty close. We're probably pretty close.
I think if anything,
I think if it was
in your favor. Like,
if it was
I don't
just
notice when I lose. I'm like, great, let's do the redux. We had some fun.
Shawn, I think if it was just my orcs, I'd have a pretty decent advantage. But it seems like anytime I play anything but orcs, Shawn kicks my butt.
Well, and I might point out that I actually, like today, I'm like, yeah, play your orcs, because I want that challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I want to, because the hive mind is constantly thinking of how to win the next battle. So, all right, let's roll.
Okay.